Hello, my name is Franklin and welcome to my channel. Today I'm working on a Case 621F loader. What I'm going to do is I'm going to perform an oil change. I'm going to change the engine oil and the oil filter. And let's get to it. Okay, the first thing we want to do is see this little compartment here. We look on the side we're on. We're on the side of the machine. We want to cut off the battery so the engine can be started first. So in case somebody gets up and starts screwing with it. And we want to see this little lever right here will turn the battery off. Battery's turned off. That means nothing can be done or move with it. Okay, and on the same side here, we'll look down here and you see you have these three plugs right here. This one here is for hydraulic oil. This is going to be coolant. This is going to be engine oil right here. So this is what we're going to pull off right here. This one right here is for engine oil, coolant, and hydraulic oil. You can tell the hydraulic symbol right there. And that one, of course, is your engine oil symbol. So we're going to pull this one off so the oil can come out of there. So let me get a socket and we'll get that off. Okay, as I said, this one right here is the oil. You want to use a 1-inch socket and ratchet breaker bar. And then you just loosen it up, and then you pull it off with your hand. You see I have here a 5-gallon bucket to catch the oil. It has like 4.5 quarts. So then we let it pour out of there. We'll leave it like that, but one thing we want to do is go up on top, and we want to release the cap so the air can get in there. Makes it easier for the oil to come out. Okay, as that drains, you see it's coming out of there nice and steady. Make sure you don't lose that plug. I'll walk around to the other side. And here is the oil filler thing here. So we want to screw that off so the air can get in there better. And we'll put it here to the side so it doesn't get lost. And we'll leave it like that so that it can drain better. And we'll just let it drain for a while and come back. Okay, we'll let that continue to drain. Okay, if you look right here, see here's the air filter to the right where the alternator is, below it right there, you see that's the engine oil filter. Right below the alternator and to the left, to the right of the air filter here. And that's the oil filter we're going to take off. And we'll let it drain a little bit first, and this is the oil filter part number. Now I ended up getting this one here from the Case dealer, but you can actually go to O'Reilly's or any place else and cross that, reference that number over and order one. You can even order them on Amazon or eBay, either one you want. But we'll let it drain a little bit first so it'll spill less when we pull off the filter. In the meantime, we'll just let it drain. Okay, I have the filter wrench on here. So you'll have to get the set. You're gonna have that set of 4, comes from O'Reilly. I think I paid $25 for the set of 4. And you just kind of turn it. I already got it loose. Once you get it loosened up, you pull off the filter wrench and then turn it with your hand. Once you get it loose. Okay, I have loosened it up with the filter wrench, and now I'm just going to spin it with my hand and pull it off. It shouldn't leak much because the oil is actually below the, I've drained quite a bit of it out from the pan, and this is up pretty high compared to the rest of the engine, so it should come out easy. I hope you can hear me because it's kind of windy here right now. Anyway, it's still gonna make a mess. Let me grab something. Okay, this is the new oil filter right here. I've already shown you the number. It is right there, and you can look for it on Amazon or whatever, but the first thing you want to do is put your finger in there and get your finger wet with the 1540 oil that you're going to put in there. It takes 1540 engine oil, and you want to lubricate that before you stick it on. And then once you get it good and lubricated, you want to stick it back in there in the hole there. Put it up there and spin it on. That's all you want to do. Get it even. And you want to spin it until it touches, and then 3/4 of a turn. It says not to use the wrench, but I do. Once I tighten it with my hand tight, I always give it another spin with the wrench to be on the safe side, because you don't want it to leak. You want to make sure the rubber seal that's on the old one stays on the old one. Okay. Now, most of the time when you put on a new oil filter, they always say only hand tight, 3/4 of a turn, but that doesn't usually work out for me. So I usually give it a little bit of tighten with the wrench anyway. Even though I tighten it 3/4 of a turn after it touches, I usually give it a good spin, not over tighten it, but just enough to get it in there good. There is one thing that is very, very, very important to remember. This is the old oil filter. You see this black seal right here? This rubber O-ring here? You want to make sure when you pull off the old filter that it is there, because sometimes they come off and they stick up in the engine. So when you pull off the old oil filter, this rubber thing stays up there, and the new one will come with a new O-ring right here. When you screw it in there, it'll have 2 instead of 1, and it will leak like crazy. So you gotta make sure the old O-ring stays with the old filter, because the new one already has one. Very important. Okay, I've been waiting an hour, but it's still coming out. It comes out very, very slow. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you over here is where we put in the oil, because it's getting dark. I'm gonna move this on, and I dropped the cap. Here it is. So here we put the new oil in right here, and right down here is the dipstick. You put it in, you see the dipstick here. You see we got a little space there, so we'll see this is the high and there is the low. You can see the 2 marks. See this mark here and the mark there? This is the high level. Right here is where it's supposed to be, the level. And if it gets down below that, then it's too low. So when you get down to there, you need to make sure you add. There should be right between this area here, but this is full right here. Just so you know, that little mark right there is full, and the mark on the bottom means it's way too low. Okay, the oil has stopped coming out, so I have put this cap, the plug, back on there. You see, hydraulic antifreeze. This one is the oil, the last one, and you want to tighten it up. One thing you want to be certain of, that it is completely tight. You do not want to take a chance on leaving it loose, because it will absolutely drain all the oil out of it. Make sure it's good and tight. So that way you won't lose any oil, because if the thing comes off, you'll lose all the engine oil. Here is where you put your oil in, right here. See, I've taken off the cap, and here I have a funnel. I'm going to put in there. You make sure your funnel is clean, and you just pour it in there, and then you check it right here with the dipstick. So I'm going to go ahead and put in 2.5 gallons for starters. Okay, now I have the funnel ready, and here I have my oil, so I'm going to pour it in there. This is 1540. Okay, almost. Let's go ahead and pour this jug in there. And let it go down a bit. Okay, now we've got that in there. Okay, now if you look down there, you'll see this little deal here where the dipstick goes. Push it in and pull it out, and check your dipstick. You see where it's at, It is right here. Right there is the level. So we need to add more until we get up to there. So let's get a little more and we'll add some more. According to the dealer, he told me it needed 4.5 gallons. So we're not going to put 4.5 gallons. We already got 2.5 in there. So we'll add another gallon. That'll be 3.5. And we'll check it. Add one more gallon. And then we'll check it. Okay, we're going to check it again. See where we are. We are here. We are here. Right there. And here is full. So we'll add a little bit more. Okay, we'll let it go down a little bit because it takes a little while to get to the bottom. We'll stick our dipstick in again. See, we'll stick it in right here. Pull it out. Okay. You can see it's at the full mark. It's right here. It's right there. So what we're going to start it up and check it again. So we'll take this out, put the cap on it, run it a little bit, then start it again. And check it again. Cap's on there. Okay, in order to start it, we're going to make sure caps are on, everything's good. Pick it up in the air. Put the battery back on. We'll go up in the cab here. Okay. Power's on. We'll just click on and run it for a minute. And then see if the level goes down some. Okay, put it off now, key out. Let's go check it out the bottom now. Okay, I started it up, ran the engine a little bit, pull out the dipstick, we'll clean it off, then we'll check it one more time, see where we are. Okay, it went down, see? It's about right there now. See where it's at right there? So it went down a little bit. I'm going to start it because of the oil filter. I'll put a little bit more in there. And I guess the dealer was right. He said it took about 4.5 gallons. So we only have about a gallon left. So he was right. It took about 4.5 gallons. So we'll pour that in there. Okay, that'll do it. Put the cap back on. Check this out. The oil filter is full now because we started it up. So there's no reason to start it up again. We will check the dipstick again. We cleaned it off. Stick it in there. All the way down. Go up. Okay. It is at the full mark. Okay, so we're good. We'll leave it like that. Oops. Put it back in there. There we go. That should do it. Okay, we are done here. So let's open this up. We'll put the top back down. this off. This button here. And I close the hood. Then we want to cut off the battery so it doesn't drain. Disconnect the battery. And that should do it. Thank you very much for watching my video. If you don't mind, take a second to hit that thumbs up button. I really appreciate it. And we'll see you in the next video.